Today, I want to talk to you about a pipeline called purpose. If you've been following our channel for a while, you would know that we recently started a series called Pipelines and Purpose. And it's a way of connecting this amazing idea that you might have for a business or for your family or for whatever you're doing and turning it into a series of processes that allow you to convert it into reality. I call these processes pipelines, because a pipeline is something that brings water and food and all sorts of different things into being for the purpose of what it's intended for. So pipelines and purpose. The first pipeline that I want to talk about today is purpose. And the reason I want to talk about pipeline as a purpose is because I believe that in business, you need a way to consistently and constantly relate every activity that you're doing to purpose. Let me give you an example. On the 1st of January 2024, we released our product TradeOxy into beta. We'd spent a lot of time and a lot of effort developing a technically amazing set of products and features that we felt would really appeal to our target audience. I'm still amazed at the work that we did, but the truth was that our technical expertise and technical excellence was completely overshadowed by the fact that we hadn't related what we were doing to purpose. Looking back, we realized that we would have been far better off spending less time nailing all of those technical things, focusing on one or two features that we could deliver with a very, very high sense of confidence, and then connecting that to things like education, our content, our story, our marketing, and all the other things that make business work. What happened? We didn't have a pipeline called purpose. We didn't have a process in place that allowed us to systematically and continuously connect what we're doing to the overall purpose of the business. The thing about our story is you get to experience it as we're going through the journey. At the time of recording this, we're in the middle of February 2024, less than 6 weeks after the release of our beta platform. In many cases, we're only now beginning to put in place a whole bunch of processes that will allow us to deliver an amazing product. And that's really important because I believe that a part of connecting to purpose is enabling yourself to share the story of purpose with those who are listening. So we came up with 3 keys that will allow us to effectively build a pipeline of purpose, a process of connecting every activity to purpose. The first key of a pipeline of purpose is to realize that uncovering your purpose is an ongoing activity. Let me share with you what this means. When you first get an amazing idea, I feel like it's a bit like an uncut diamond. It might be this rock of like murky, milky, not very clear kind of thing. It's still hard as a diamond, but it lacks the brilliance and the beauty that you see in the diamonds that you see in the jewelry shop. There is a diamond in there, and there is the amazing diamond that you're going to see in there, but when you first get it, it's just like this big lump. And I feel that that's exactly like purpose when you first come across it. The core of the idea is there. Everything is contained in there. But as you start to dive into it, as you build your pipelines for your purpose, you'll start to realize that there are things that need to be cut away. You need to uncover the beauty of that purpose within. When I first started TradeOxy, it had a different name, and I had it in my mind that the purpose was to democratize algorithmic trading. It had all of the core elements of what I've now come to understand of TradeOxy. I wanted to reach a vast audience of people that were potentially not really connected to the internet just yet, so I wanted to make it easy for them to do it. I wanted to make things easy to understand, hence the word democratizing. And I wanted to make it in a way that was fun and exciting and really allow people to empower themselves to change their financial situation. All of those things were in that original one, but they weren't very clearly uncovered. I don't even really think they were uncovered in my mind. But as I started to get into the pipelines that we're sharing as part of this series, I started to realize that things needed to be shifted and shaped a bit differently. Today's purpose for TradeOxy is very, very clear. We want to build better investors. That's what we're here to do. And everything that we're doing is related to that. That's the first key. Purpose needs to be uncovered. The second thing is that purpose needs to be polished. As much as you might spend time refining and uncovering what you're doing, you also need to take some time to polish that purpose. For instance, my original one of democratizing algorithmic trading, we had to polish that a little bit to realize that we needed to go deeper. We had to get out the grinding stone and polish that edge of that beautiful diamond so it started to reveal its beauty. We had to realize that, algorithmic trading is just one component of investing, and we had a lot further to go. And I think that's the same for your business or your family or whatever you're looking to create purpose for. You have a concept or an idea in your head, but you need to spend some time uncovering and polishing it to truly understand it and take it deeper. That's the second key. A purpose needs to be polished. Key number 1, purpose needs to be uncovered. Key number 2, purpose needs to be polished. And the third key is that your purpose needs to be refined. I like to think of this as an iterative circle where each of the 3 elements continually feeds into the next one. You start off with your big purpose, your big lump of compressed coal that is one day going to be a diamond, and you can see the diamond in your mind. But as you get out your grinding stone, you start to uncover the beauty and the facets of the different parts of the diamond. You start to cut it away and you start to take away those things that need to be uncovered. And then you start to polish that smooth edge so that the beauty and the clarity starts to be revealed. Well, the next thing you need to do is start to refine that process. Maybe you need to shift the grinding a little bit further so that it's a little bit nicer in a different way. Maybe you need to go to a different part of the unrefined diamond and start to cut that away. Over and over again, we go through this thing, and I think that that's a key part of entrepreneurship. See, as your business grows, as you start to invest time and resources and it starts to prosper, you're probably going to find that the purpose that you originally started with, it hasn't changed, but maybe it's refined. Maybe you've come to a deeper understanding of what exactly you meant when you first had that amazing idea. Maybe you find that the purpose that you started with has nothing to do with the current business that you're working on, but there's a different business that you could invest in that does the same thing. Whatever it is, I believe that taking that time to understand the pipeline called purpose, build those purpose-driven processes into your business will yield amazing results. Join me as we discuss the rest of our pipelines that build purpose.